on anything.
He may have had certain personal foibles, but in terms of political leadership, the man was a marvel. Now, I don't know if Washington fully understood what his role was, but he was a man accustomed to commanding.
Washington as a general, the way he commanded was to have frequent councils of war and to get everyone's opinion, and then he would judge. And this is the same way he ran his administration as president.
He seems to have been a very, very good judge of character and at the same time a good judge of people's talents. So he surrounded himself with people who would do their job and in the process make him look good.
In creating the executive branch of government, Washington hired men he knew and trusted. Brilliant men of great talent.
Certainly, his first cabinet is probably the best we've ever had. You know, when you have Hamilton at Treasury and Jefferson at State and Henry Knox at War, it just makes every subsequent one look like a pickup team.
A chief among them, of course, Alexander Hamilton.
I think bringing Hamilton in as Secretary of the Treasury was his landmark achievement because, in fact, Alexander Hamilton set the course of this country in terms of its economy.
What Hamilton did was build the framework of a national banking system. As a first step, he proposed that the new government assume all the leftover war debt of the 13 original states, thereby establishing a federal line of credit.
In order to get that done, he had to make a deal with people who were reluctant to have it done.
These included people such as James Madison and Thomas Jefferson of Virginia, a state that had paid off most of its war debt. The issue of assumption, as it was called, became Washington's first test as president. Behind closed doors, he urged Madison, Jefferson, and Hamilton to consider a compromise.
What he offered in return was the location of the nation's capital.
The deal was straightforward. Hamilton got the funding, and the Virginians got the federal capital to be permanently located on land that belonged to Virginia. Washington let others hammer out the details. But when it came to choosing the actual site of the new federal city, Washington made the final decision himself. He chose a plot of swampland called Foggy Bottom. It soon became unofficially known as the City of Washington. Because it was just a stone's throw from his home, Washington micromanaged the project. He personally surveyed the land where the new city would be built. He helped lay out the roads, and he left his imprint on the proposed President's Mansion by tinkering with the blueprints. The building would not be finished until November 1800, a year after Washington's death.
George Washington is the only president who never serves in Washington.
George Washington defined the presidency, but it defined him as well.